Welcome inside the studio. I'm Mosteller, and you are listening to ZmoSports. This page is about real sports conversations, honest analysis, and breaking things down the way the fans actually talk about them. No forced hot takes, no chasing trends, just informed opinions, game breakdowns, and respect for the work that goes into the sport at every level. Joining me today is James Hevron, man. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate it, Zach. I'm happy to be on. I appreciate you
Yeah,
having me.
so James and I go way back. We grew up together. Another big IU fan. So we had the last one, Ryan Hebner. He was talked all things IU. So we're gonna get into some IU stuff here in just a minute. So this episode, we're gonna go through the IU fan experience, James's breakdown, program outlook, Super Bowl reactions, Patriots and Seahawks breakdowns, dominance, NFL offseason needs, and some Big Ten basketball deep dive. But how you been, man? It's been a while since we got a chance to talk.
I know it. I've been good. After college at IU, I was up in Indy for a couple of years working up there downtown and with a lot of my college buddies, and then I actually moved back to Evansville about exactly a year ago, in a week, and I'm back here with the family and the friends down here and loving it and traveling a lot to follow
Good.
the crazy season that IU's had, and we're doing good, man. How have you
Yeah.
been?
Good, man. Living in Nashville, doing my thing here. So
That's
all things
awesome.
are good. All things are good. All right, so let's get into it. You traveled through every playoff game for Indiana. What a crazy run. Kind of like a Cinderella story for the fact for all IU fans, because we never thought that we'd ever see the day Indiana to ever host a championship. But you went to every single postseason game. So let's talk about it. Start with the first one.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the breakdown on this, and I'm gonna go back. Actually, I went to the Big Ten championship too because that was in Indianapolis, and
Yeah.
the Big Ten championship all the way through the Natty, going to the Rose Bowl and the Peach Bowl. The biggest thing that sticks out is just how much representation from our alumni base and how they showed out. I mean, it was
Yeah.
absolutely unreal the way that IU fans showed up, but it also makes sense, right? You got a fan base that has not seen anything significant in football since 1967 when they went to the Rose Bowl and lost. We've just
Yeah.
lived in poverty of the college football ranks. And then all of a sudden this guy Sig comes in and it's like, "Hey, Google me. I win."
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
not only does he come out and say that, I mean, I remember watching the IU basketball game whenever he came out in the court and got announced and he said, "Purdue sucks, but so do Michigan and Ohio State." And we all kind of grimaced. We were like, "Are you sure you want to lead off that way?" But, as he said, he
Yeah.
had to pump some energy into the program and kind of change the mojo, and he sure did. And at that Big Ten title game, okay, so Big Ten title game, Ohio State, Rose Bowl, Alabama, Peach Bowl, Oregon, national title, obviously Miami. The worst fan base to deal with, I'm going to start with that, without a doubt, was Ohio State. Reason why
Oh, I could see it.
there was still no belief and they still thought they were top dog, and those fans I went to the game at Ohio State last year when we lost and they were the same way, but they think that they are the cream of the crop because they are, right? And they have no conception
Yeah.
of IU could even beat us. It just doesn't even spawn into their heads, just like we have no conception of IU could make a run, you know.
Yeah.
And the very
Right.
first play of the Big Ten title game, whenever Mendoza got absolutely smoked, I mean, they came out and just rocked him. And he's down on the field, kind of writhing in pain. And all of the Ohio State fans around us start cheering, clapping. They look at us, laughing and pointing, and we're like, "Oh, so it's going to be that kind of game," And then that game just it stayed so close throughout. And then Charlie Becker with the big catch at the end to kind of seal the deal with the clock running out. I mean, that was special. That's when it was like, "Oh my gosh, this is actually happening."
Yeah.
Then fast forward to
Is
and that game was probably 60-40 IU. Ohio State travels pretty well. It might have been like 65-35, but we had the home advantage with it being in Indianapolis. But shout out to Ohio State fans. They do still go where they go, and they're still football fanatics. Then you get...
I mean, yeah, that's everything to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Football's
I mean,
everything
that is
there,
kind
so
of...
it makes sense.
Ever since LeBron's been gone, they don't have a whole lot over there other than Ohio State football.
Yeah, exactly. It's all Buckeye. Yeah.
Shout out to the Pacers. We shut down that 60+ win season for them last year, and yeah. But then you fast forward to the Rose Bowl, and there's this guy on ESPN. It's called like the Carlton Show or the Carlson Show. He's like a mid 40s,
Yeah.
50 white guy, bald head, and he has a show on ESPN. And he
Yeah, I know who
goes
you're
on
talking
and
about.
gives a take, and he's like, he said, the Rose Bowl is going to be packed with Alabama Crimson Tide fans. He said, if there's one thing that I know about the state of Indiana, they're all farmers. They don't have the money to go out to the Rose Bowl. They're not going to be able to make it.
It's
And
it's
you know,
diabolical.
it's funny because we have the largest alumni base in the country, and you've got a lot of great
Yep.
schools, a lot of great professions, people who do well. And this guy's just, East Coast, West Coast, wherever he is. He has no touch of sense on the Midwest, Indiana. And we get to the Rose Bowl, and of the postseason games, that's probably the best scenery of it all, just because of the history behind it. The outdoor venue at the Rose
Yeah.
Bowl. Um, we went to a tailgate that was literally hosted by the Rose Bowl, called like the granddaddy of them all tailgate, and it was an awesome experience in a big tent. But we get
Yeah,
into
that's
the game,
cool.
I couldn't believe it. It's like, okay, this is 80-20 IU. And
Yeah.
it's hard to tell, right? Because we're both wearing red. But
Right.
then, we kind of took the breath out of their lungs pretty early, and then the rest of the game went the way we all know it went. But
Yeah.
the thing that really stuck out to me on being there, that'd be a cool thing to know if you weren't there, was at one point they started Dixieland Delight. And
Mhm.
that's Alabama's big song that their fans get into, and there's
Yeah,
a little
of
corner
course.
diagonal section across. I was on the Indiana end zone, and there's this little corner diagonal section of, like I said, like, maybe 5%, 10% of the fans that was, like, kind of their home base, and they started singing Dixieland Delight. You could barely even hear it. Some IU fans started singing it just 'cause it's a good song, but it's like, you couldn't really hear it.
Yeah.
And then so for people that don't know, John Mellencamp is the huge IU kind of music, and that goes back to when they were great at basketball, Bob Knight, etcetera. But they turned on "Hurt So Good" by John Mellencamp, and the entire arena just erupted. I mean, and
Oh,
that's
that's
just like,
so
okay,
cool.
like, this is really, you know
Yeah.
and then to beat them the way that they beat them, because the game against Ohio State, close. The game against Alabama
Yeah, right.
wasn't even a game. And
No, no, it was over quick.
also just being a Big Ten guy, that made us so happy because all the talk about, "Oh, well, once you play an SEC team, you might see something," and
Yep.
that just obviously ended up not being the case at all. Um, and I will say though, like, the energy in the regular season at a lot of home games was awesome too, but what was cool about the postseason was just the way we traveled. And
Yeah.
so going into the Peach Bowl, so the Peach Bowl's in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz, and that's against Oregon, who so I was scared for every game this year just because 'cause I'm still not used to our team winning. Like, I was even scared to play Purdue
Well,
'cause
of
I was like,
course.
"What if?" And so I wasn't
I
gonna get
mean, what
cocky,
Indiana fan has
who can't?
championship type pedigree, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You're just used to something going wrong. And,
Right.
we get down to the Peach Bowl, and so I went down there with some college friends. They picked me up on the way from Indianapolis, and I rode down with them, and as soon as we got to downtown Atlanta before the game, just kinda go out, see what the scene was like, every single
Yeah.
bar outside of the bars, huge line, all red, all IU. It was so bad to try to get into a place before the game to hang out at. We ended up going to the sponsor hotel for Oregon fans, and it was still more IU people in there because they were trying to find somewhere to go.
Dude, that is amazing.
And
That is awesome.
and and obviously this is the game we were probably most worried about because we beat Oregon at Oregon, and it was not as close as the score showed, but you could tell they were a very good football team, great coach in Dan Lanning,
Right.
and it's like to beat a team like that twice is hard. But then
Yeah,
we go into
correct.
the stadium. It was 90 to 95% IU, and that's not a joke.
Yes.
Which part of that is geographic. I mean, it's there's a lot more IU fans in the area of Atlanta, Chicago, Indy, down to Atlanta, than there are people from the West Coast. I mean, I'll give it that too.
Oh,
So that
yeah,
probably
I mean,
helps.
of
And then
course.
you got IU fans just so hungry to see it. And The first play of the game, D'Angelo Ponce, pick six on the first play, and he runs that ball into the end
Yep.
zone. And I called my dad after because my dad went to all the games except for that one. He couldn't make it for that one.
Yeah.
And I called him. I said, "That is the loudest I've ever heard a football stadium." And then I find out after that was actually the loudest crowd pop in Mercedes-Benz Stadium history. Anything, concert,
Oh,
basketball,
wow.
football. It was the loudest that stadium had ever registered. Was that play?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool fact, actually. That's sick.
Yeah. And so to get to experience that, I mean, what can you say? And my
Yeah,
favorite
I mean,
player is D'Angelo
that's so
Ponce.
cool.
He's just had so many big moments for us the last 2 years, because the moment that we really knew that this might be something was last year against Washington, whenever he had the pick six and they
Right.
showed the entire assembly. I mean, they showed Memorial Stadium sold out, which never happened until last year. And I remember the announcer, I don't know his name, was like, "Roll out the big red carpet" as he ran. And that was just such a cool moment. That's when I was like, okay, this could be something real.
Yeah.
And, and then the rest of that game, they just kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, but we dog walked them. I actually really like
Yeah,
Oregon
yes.
fans. Oregon fans on Twitter, Oregon fans in person, great people. They are the best fan base I've interacted with in the Big Ten. I mean, seriously, shout out to them
Yeah.
because Ducks fans are cool, but unfortunately, we got the better of them in that, and then we also just beat them in basketball again, so it's just kind of becoming a thing. But and obviously, I got some bias, but that's just the facts. But so
I mean,
then
you're
the
just keeping it real.
Peach Bowl, awesome. And then it's like, okay, we just dog walked Alabama and Oregon. Like, this is getting kind of crazy. So then the national title comes along, and of course, due to no fault of their own, but we have to play Miami in their home stadium. Just so happens,
In Miami. Yeah.
and it's in their home stadium. So
Right.
now
Yeah,
everybody's
of course.
worried. It's like, all right, so we've shown out to these games, but the get-in prices are so high, and this and that, but IU fans, like I said, were just so thirsty for this, so hungry for this that they traveled. And we get down there to Miami, and we get to our tailgate, which is pretty close to the stadium and kind of the parking lots. And everybody that I was with was kind of worried because every tent in the entire parking lot's a Miami tent. But I just looked at them and I had a realization. I was like, well, guys, like, you don't fly with tents. Like, this is their home
Yeah.
stadium. None of us brought tents, so let's see what happens in the stadium. And then sure enough, you get in there, and we outnumber them in their home stadium
Yeah,
for a
that
national
was
title game,
wild to me.
which
Yes.
I think if I got the numbers right from what I've looked at, they've got about 200,000 alumni, active living alumni. We have
Mhm.
800,000. So there is 4-to-1 of
Yeah, it's
us to them. But in your home
yeah.
stadium down there where we're not, that's far
Yeah.
from us. That's an expensive trip. And so, I mean, that's why Cignetti that's why he shouted out. It's like, Hoosiers fans, you have been unreal. Because, I mean, really, we gave them a home field advantage in every game of the playoff. And,
Yeah.
that can be a difference. So
Oh, it's a
the
huge difference.
the whole experience, I don't even know if I can put into words, just getting to go to all those games and seeing that transpire. Um,
Yeah.
I was on the Indiana end zone for the Natty, and whenever Mendoza had the play on 4th and 5 when he ran it in,
Yep.
everyone around me, I was like, his knee didn't go down. He made it, and
Yeah.
it, I mean, to wrap it up, I mean, just an awesome experience all around. Heck of a movement for the Indiana Hoosiers, for Indiana in general. And I think it's something that's here to probably stay. So,
Yeah. You think that going forward within this next couple of seasons with Cignetti at the helm, is there a big possibility you guys go back next year?
so again, I'm an IU fan. I don't want to establish like an Ohio State or an Alabama does that if you don't win the Natty, it's an unsuccessful season. If
Right.
he went 8-4 for the next 3 years and then retired, I'm still building the statue. I mean,
Yeah.
he's playing on house,
Yeah. Right.
but
Yeah, of course.
looking at the schedule next year, there is definitely a very good chance of having a 1 or 2 loss team.
Mhm.
And based on the guys that they have coming in and the way that he coaches, I do believe it's sustainable. So a couple of things there. Transfer portal, we have a top class. You got Josh Hoover from TCU coming in. You got
He's a dog.
Nick Marsh, the best receiver at MSU. Cignetti watched him torch us a couple times the last few years and said, let's go get him. You got Turbo Richardson from Boston College coming in. We got uh, there's a redshirt senior from Wisconsin coming in on the O-line, Joe Brunner. We got 2 D linemen from Kansas State. We got a D lineman from Notre Dame. We got Penn State senior running back, senior defensive back with their coach James Franklin leaving. That was kind of for the pickings, and we got him. But then everyone talks about the way that Cignetti built this and the way that he won. A lot of things people say are, oh, it's because he had a bunch of grown men. Well, you look through just those transfers that I said: Josh Hoover, redshirt senior; Nick Marsh, junior; Turbo Richard, junior; Joe Brunner, redshirt senior; the safety and D-back from Wisconsin who's also coming, redshirt senior; the 2 D linemen from K-State, senior and junior; the Notre Dame guy, redshirt senior; the guy from Penn State, senior. So he's sticking to the blueprint.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it is, whenever you have a team like Indiana that does what they just did the last 2 years, most of the time, those offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators, they're getting poached. I mean, they are going to another program. They're going to be a head coach. And why would you not go take over a program? That's probably what they
Yeah,
aspire.
you go take those shots. Yeah, you go take those big opportunities that you can get.
But so at the end of last year, at the end of 24, whenever we lost to Ohio State and Notre Dame, whenever they did a new contract for Cignetti, the biggest thing that he argued in that contract was, I need a giant pool of money to keep my assistants.
Right.
And so they gave him that. Then we preemptively this year said, we're going to go ahead and up it again for you. And because of that, they kept the offensive coordinator, Shanahan, and we kept the defensive coordinator, Haynes. Those are 2 guys that you don't usually see stay at the school after that run.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's awesome for you guys. You said it's the blueprint of what Cignetti wants to do. So if you guys got all those big recruits plus the coaching staff, I mean, what is there not to like about this team going back to back?
Right. I mean, he's sticking to what he does. I think he's probably the best talent evaluator in the country, because he doesn't just look at your pure athleticism skill. He also looks at what type of person you are, what type of guy you are, will you buy in?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
then because he's had these coordinators for years. I mean, these guys were with him at Elon, JMU. Like, there's a story about Bryant Haynes was talking about whenever he was first with Cignetti, he was making like less than $10,000 a year just because he loved football and wanted to
Wow.
coach. And Cignetti funded, there was a coach's house, kind of like almost like a little apartment for college kids, because these guys couldn't afford rent. And so he was just like,
Yeah.
and so for that guy, Haynes, to go from that to now IU's paying him like $3.5 million for the next 3 years. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
and this might be a hot take, but I think he's the coach in waiting. I think they've also probably told him like, hey, Sig is on the older side and you are everything that he is and you are his philosophy. I think that probably once Sig's done, they've told him like, you are the guy. And that probably helps
Yeah.
too,
See that.
you
Yeah, I
know.
can see that.
But
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean,
I don't know as much about our high school recruiting. I think that we've got like 7 4-stars. We have 0
yeah,
5-stars. But again, this whole team was 0 5-stars, and they just won the national title.
exactly. Yeah. Right.
I'm,
The
I'm
the best thing
probably
about what do what?
I'm probably drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, but anyone who Cignetti gets, I'm like, oh, he must be great.
Yeah. But as you should, because you don't see this in Indiana football. So why not drink the Kool-Aid, dude? Go with it. Like, just ride this train for as long as you can. I mean, yeah, it's magical of what Cignetti's doing over there.
It's unreal. It might be the
Yeah.
greatest story in sports history. And I've got people, I've been posting on Instagram like when I went to the different games, and people are like, oh, it must be a bandwagon, and it's great. My sister
No.
sent me this picture like a couple weeks ago, and it's me, her, and my dad whenever I'm like 5 years old at an IU game in empty stands, you know.
Yeah.
And
No, I can definitely tell you are not a bandwagon.
when I was little, whenever one end of the stadium was still open, they had a little 50-yard football field behind one of the end zones for the kids to play in called Knott Hall Park. And like
Yeah.
we were always going to lose. The highlight of the game was whenever they'd kick the extra points or field goals, all the kids would get together in a big dog huddle and try to catch it. And like that was,
That's cool.
and tickets for kids were $5. So
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, but dude, one thing, Cignetti does really well, and me and Ryan kind of highlighted this in a
A
later
later
podcast,
podcast
was
was
Cignetti kind of coaches as like that Bill Belichick, right? Or that Nick Saban, because it's all about discipline with him. You either buy in, you trust Cignetti's process, or you're gone. And I feel like the players understood what Indiana football was about when Cignetti was there, because the fans deserved success through all those years of torture, winning, losing seasons. Like this is what it is with Cignetti. We're gonna win. Google me. The players bought in, and that's what we saw of Cignetti and that IU team. Now, the big question, what we kind of already highlighted was this team is built for the future. This team will be built on, now it's the winning persona. Like, let's go winning next year. Let's go win some bowl games again. And then let's carry this on for as long as we can. So if you start to see IU win another championship, now it's going to be, well, this is what is expected out of IU football now.
and that's a
And
great
how cool
point.
is that?
And I mean, it's something that I can't even really comprehend yet. You know,
Right.
that's why I keep telling myself, I'm like, the reason I win all these games is because you never know if you're going to see it again, and
Well, of course. Yeah.
we don't want to expect it. Yes, he has set the standard, and so from the player standpoint, a lot of that's a shout out to James Madison. All of
Yeah.
his key guys from James Madison came over, and they brought their culture with them, and I think that was
Right.
huge.
Yeah.
From a fan base standpoint, obviously we bought in later than the players did, right? But I think that he's playing on house money to an extent. I mean, if we get to a point 5 years down the road where I'm looking at ESPN and they're saying, should IU fire Cignetti because he hasn't been to the playoff in 2 years? I would cancel my ESPN subscription. And
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying there, but he bring in the, so to speak on him being kind of a Belichick Saban arc, I agree. I think that he learned so much whenever he did recruiting and wide receiver coaching at Alabama in that year. And then he took a huge leap. He cut his salary in half and said, I'm going to go be the head football coach at IUP because I want to be a head coach. I mean, talk about
Right.
a guy having some guts. He had family, he had kids going to college, and he said, but what I want is to be a head coach. I don't want to be an SEC assistant. And
Yeah.
the one thing that I think differentiates him from a Saban or a Belichick is that he's a little bit less hard-nosed. He's still all business. We see all the memes of him on the sideline with a straight face no matter what the score
Yeah.
is. But whenever you actually see him interacting with the players at practice, etc., he's not the guy who's screaming in your face. He's not getting red in the face. I mean,
Yeah.
he expects of you what he expects of you, and if not, then get out. But he's also not going to be quite as emotional and frantic about, oh my, it's just not him. He's
Yeah.
to himself very more conserved. And the other thing with Sig
Yeah.
is
So
he
he's,
runs efficient practices. So like
yeah.
he preaches on coaches, there's not some time you have to be here till. Once you got your work done, go home. Players, we're gonna have light walkthroughs, not a whole lot of pads, not a whole lot of hitting. We're gonna keep you fresh. Our practices are gonna be an hour and a half, not 2.5. And also, if you're a recruit, that's a great recruiting point. It's like, okay,
Oh, of course.
I can go play for a guy like a Saban or whoever you want to equip that to down in the SEC who's gonna, you know, run me out of my knees and bust me
Yeah.
every
Lane
day.
Kiffin type style.
Or I can go to a Cignetti who has proven success, has lighter practices that are better on my body, and I know that he's going to put me in the best position to win because of his tactical way that he just views film. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
there's a guy other than Tom Brady or Bill Belichick that is a bigger film maniac than Kurt Cignetti.
Oh, yeah. Tom was a crazy one. Yes.
Yeah, you're
Tom
not joking there.
Tom would study. Yeah, dude. That dude would study, probably film for. He'd probably wake up at 3 a.m., watch film, go to practice, watch film to 2 a.m., take a hour nap, and go back to watching film.
With his avocado ice cream.
Yes.
But to answer your
He's
bigger point
wild.
there, no, I don't see, at least in the next 5 years, IU fans becoming expectant I mean, I
Yeah.
don't see them being like, "Oh, you better do." I think that he is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, in Bloomington, he is a celebrity and he can do no
Well,
wrong.
of course.
Now,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
and the other part of that is, he's not 40. Maybe if he coached for 20 years at IU and they got to a point where they had a bad spell, they'd be like, "Oh, we're a good football program. It's time to move on." But, he's also up there in age and he probably won't be here long enough for that to
Yeah.
ever come out because people are going to remember what he's done
All
for
right.
us.
Yeah.
You know, that might
I
happen to
mean,
the
of
next guy,
course.
but
Yeah.
just like
No, I
Bob
like
Melvin.
that take. I feel like that's very valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good take on that.
So,
But yeah, we'll see what they can do next year, man. I mean, I like how they brought in Hoover, man. I think he's going to do really well with Sigs. But dude, talk about a magical run for Mendoza, dude. That was just so cool to watch. And unfortunately, he'll go to Vegas, but they did get Clint Kubiak over there. Um, but it was just so cool watching him. And you talked about that play on 4th and 5. I don't think anyone in the stadium would have expected him to run that football, do a little spin move or truck someone, miss, make four guys miss and score. It was just what a cool story for Mendoza.
well, just to highlight that particular play, the 4th and 5, I've already got a Sports Illustrated cover on my wall in my office where it's Hoosier having him die. But what even goes even crazier into that play is whenever he's running, the guy who hits him that makes him spin and almost go down before he
Yeah.
dies. Last year, whenever he was at California, that guy hit him in his last game of the year and ended his season. That guy hit him and he
Oh,
went down
interesting.
injured. And this year to come back and take that guy's hit, chuck him off, and dive in for the touchdown to beat them, I mean, are you kidding me?
I would have spiked that ball in his face and flexed on him.
Well, if you've seen the full things, whenever he goes to the IU sideline after the touchdown, he hits the Heisman too, which
Oh, that's
so
so
cool.
sick. I didn't see that.
And
Yeah.
and if you wanna talk about a guy like first off, shout out to his little brother. Shout out to Alberto Mendoza because if not for him, Fernando didn't even consider coming to IU. So Alberto entered the transfer portal because we brought in Hoover and told him he'd have to compete for the job, and he said, "Well, I wanna go be a starter. Go be great." Any IU fan that has anything bad to say about little brother, be quiet. He did
Yeah.
so much for us that you don't even realize. But, and then you talk about a guy like Fernando that's just a perfect fit for IU too, and the fact that he was a business guy from Cal. He comes into the Kelly School of Business at IU, which is probably our biggest thing. I'm a Kelly School graduate, and so
Yep.
media trained and just so, but it's authentic. Like whenever you listen to him, it almost sounds like he's reading a script or he's a robot, but it really just is him.
Yeah.
Like he went on one of the late night talk shows recently after we won the Natty, and I mean the speech. I was just like, does he just have Chat GPT installed in his brain? Like, how does he just? And
Dude,
then,
he's
and then
just so smart, man.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna start throwing a record disc in the air, and you hit him with footballs." And he's like breaking every one. I'm like, "Okay."
Oh my gosh.
And then obviously the story with his family and his mom and what she's battling, and just his
Yeah.
Heisman speech, and and he's a guy who Miami could have had. That's the crazy thing.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They turned away from him, and then he comes back and wins a natty on their home turf. Like, what a cool storyline.
yeah. I mean, you couldn't like if people watch that movie in 20 years, whenever they make the movie, and you didn't tell them it was nonfiction, they'd be like, "Well, yeah, that would never happen in real life." I mean, really,
I mean, yeah, it's just wild how that turned out.
but
But yeah, dude, what a magical run for you guys. That was really cool to see.
well, I grew up my whole life just hearing about IU basketball and this and that and national championships, and obviously the
Yeah.
last basketball championship was 1987. Bob Knight was gone by 2000. I think that might have been his last year, or 2001 maybe. But so I got to see some highlights of like the basketball being good. Like when I was 12 years old, I was at the Watt Shot game whenever we beat number one Kentucky, Watford for the win, and that was all awesome. But I'd gotten to a point where I was almost like, man, like this isn't a school that can go out and win a natty in anything major anymore. And then
Yeah.
I think it just revitalized so much, and the NIL era does have a lot to do with that. You know,
Oh, it's
'cause
crazy.
I don't know if you've seen. Well, Indiana obviously large alumni base, multiple billionaires, the Cook family, Mark Cuban, that can put
Yep.
money in the program if they want to. But then Also, I don't know if you've seen the video of Ed Orgeron, but they asked him, they're like, "So, coach, how does the NIL era change things from what you used to?" He's like, "Well, we used to walk in the back door with the cash. Now we walk in the front." Like, and
That's
so
awesome.
I don't know if the Big Ten just didn't know they could do that, but now
Yeah.
ever since NIL, it's like, okay, Michigan wins the Natty despite all the extra with that. Ohio State wins the
Allegations and yeah.
Natty, and Indiana wins. I mean, the last 3 have been Big Ten teams, and, Oregon's knocking on that doorstep too. I think eventually Oregon's gonna get one. And so I think the Big Ten has become
Yes.
the dominant conference in college football for the time being. I mean, until you prove it otherwise, I don't know how else you say it.
Yeah, and then if you ask any other college football fan, they're all gonna tell you it's, "Oh, SEC. SEC's the best." I'm like, "But you got a good point there." I mean, the last 3 of Big Ten.
And the other thing is the last 2 years in bowl games in general, the SEC has been dominated by P4 opponents. I mean, and then they say, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, our guys don't try in a game that doesn't matter." Well, you lose in the playoff too. So, what is it?
Yeah.
Is the SEC dominant,
Dude,
or do they not try?
mo most SEC fans are just bitter type people, man. It's just how it is.
Well, and I get it because I grew up with the hard head that Big Ten is the best basketball conference where the hardest knows. But then eventually I got older. I'm like, we haven't won a natty since Michigan in like 2000. Like, how can I say we're the best when we haven't won a natty in 25 years?
Yeah.
It's always evolving, it's always changing. But the change to the transfer portal and the NIL, I think that allowed the Big Ten to kind of show, it's an even playing field and we're here to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with the NIL money going through the SEC and Big Ten, it kinda puts all the other conferences a little bit lower than, what we've seen in the past, especially with, your Big 12 schools, like, because they take a big hit. I never thought I would say that IU would get a national championship before West Virginia. Never thought I would ever say that, but here we are. It happened.
How do
But
you feel about Pat McAfee?
I love Pat McAfee, dude. I
It's
I
like
think he's
that
awesome.
dude
He's fun to
encompasses.
watch.
It's like, you're from Indiana, you're a West Virginia fan. He played at Western Virginia. He's now
Yep,
in Indy, and he loves IU, and his wife's an IU who's, like, that's kinda just like a similar that's interesting.
it
I just wanted
is.
to know what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? But
It
yeah, dude,
is.
I love Pat McAfee. What he's doing for the sport. I mean, what did that kid say? How inspiring you are of your show, and
Oh,
then he
and then
says,
the kid's like, "And by
"Also,
the
fuck Boston Connor." Yeah.
way" Yep. That's a great clip.
Oh, dude, that is hilarious. Well, I think it was before that. One of the dudes goes, "This kid stinks."
He's like, "I just wanna tell you how inspiring you are and how much you mean to people." Yeah, and then he just
Yeah,
throws that out
dude,
of
what an
nowhere.
awesome clip. Yeah.
And that's like
Fuck
early
Boston
McAfee
Connor.
show. That's like before ESPN, I think. Like, that's like
Dude, it
retro.
was amazing. Okay, so I do want to ask you, did you try any unique foods at the stadium?
So, Zach, we haven't seen each other in a while, but typically whenever I'm at a football game, I am drinking an adult beverage. Not as much worried about the food.
Okay, I was
But
just curious.
but what I will tell you, I didn't have it, but I saw it advertised, and I screenshotted it on my phone because I wanted to bring this up that it was a cool thing. At the Peach Bowl, they had let me find it, but they had a 2-foot long brisket sandwich at the Peach Bowl for IU Oregon, and one half was IU's
Oh.
flavor, the other half was Oregon's flavor. And here I found it. So it's like, and the way they advertised it was, which side are you on? The 2-foot long dueling brisket sandwich. Indiana's half, tender
Oh.
brisket piled high and topped with creamy coleslaw, tangy pickled onions, finished with a cherry bourbon barbecue sauce. Pretty good.
Yeah, sounds great.
Oregon's half, tender brisket piled high and paired with crisp pickles, finished with a decadent brown sugar barbecue. So they made a two-sided sandwich that one side was a little more red, one side had the pickle was a little more green. They're like, this is like the IU
Yeah.
Oregon brisket sandwich. So I thought that was
That's
cool.
actually really cool.
Yeah. I
That's interesting.
I was lucky, man. Like, for the Big Ten and for the Peach Bowl, all of my college buddies from my fraternity at IU, we had huge tailgates, tons of food.
Yeah.
For the Rose Bowl, I went to the Granddaddy Mall, that's what they call the Rose Bowl. I went to their
Yeah.
tailgate, and that was just unlimited buffet before. And then for the national
Wow.
title game, I was so nervous I couldn't even eat. But that was the coolest food item that I saw. So,
Yeah. What was your favorite stadium?
okay. Rose Bowl is the best scenery and the most historic.
Right.
Mercedes-Benz on that first play of the game with the crowd pop was probably even more than the Mendoza run. I hate to say it, but that pick six to start the game, hearing how loud it was, that was the most insane
Yeah.
moment. And then Hard Rock, just the fact that we won it all and it like came to a close and you could finally breathe. So
Yeah.
I know you said what was my favorite stadium. Even though it's the worst stadium of the three almost, I'd almost have to say the Peach Bowl just because it was literally 95% IU and just how crazy it was and how
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, there's different attributes to each one. I still don't
Well,
even
right.
have the answer in my own head, to be honest with you.
It's just cool that you got to experience all those stadiums.
Yeah.
Like, that's just sick.
Well, and
Yeah.
like it started with the Big Ten title game, but after the Big Ten title game, all the Ohio State fans flee the arena, go back
Yeah.
to their caves or wherever they live. And the whole IU fan base stays, the confetti hits, and we all every single after the game, Coach Shig gives the who Hoosiers, which he's also improved because last year he would just say go IU. Now he understands the chant is who Hoosiers.
Yeah.
But then they would have Aiden Fisher, the defensive captain linebacker, come on, and he would chart the fight song, and the whole fan base would sing it with him, and that
Oh,
was
that's
pretty cool too.
sick.
And
Yeah.
we're all just still in there, we're all just like teared up. Just, oh my god,
Yeah.
I mean, just so many cool moments that again, I don't know if my brain is fully like absorbed it all. To be honest,
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yep. We'll see what IU can do next year and see if they can go and repeat. And because I know my boys aren't going to get there, so might as well cheer for Indiana.
hey, jump on the bandwagon. Apparently we're all bandwagons, so might as well.
Apparently. I mean, grew up in Indiana. Alex went there, so I might as well.
might as. And hey, you know what? One more thing I will give you before we hop off the topic of IU football. My prediction for next year, because again, I don't want the expectation to be set too high, but my prediction for next year is 2 losses
Okay.
in
I
the
like
regular
that.
season. Well, the thing is, you have Ohio State at home and at Michigan back to back. That's tough.
Ooh, yeah, those are
You don't
tough.
have your bye
Yeah,
until dang near the end of the season, which also means a lot of wear and tear. And,
correct.
I'm not going to pull it up right now. I know we also play USC. We play a couple of good teams, but just like this year, 16-0 season, but you're a couple plays away from losing at Iowa and losing at Penn State. And so my thing is, let's not assume we're just going to lose one game. There could be a couple plays that go the different way next year. So
Yeah, correct.
I'm saying next year 2 losses. That is and
Yeah,
if we
especially
lose
like
2, I will be ecstatic and I will be so happy. I mean,
yeah. Yeah,
don't get
especially
greedy.
like traveling like West Coast side, like, time zones are different. Depends on who you play before and stuff like that, which we see a lot of times from those Midwest or even East Coast teams that travel all the way out west. Like those would be considered trap games.
Well, you see it a lot in basketball.
Oh yeah.
We've been fortunate enough that, we went out to Oregon and kicked their ass, and we went out, every time we've gone out west, it seemed to gone well so far in football, but in basketball, like IU went out and beat UCLA, and then we have to go back a few days later and play USC, and you drop one.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah,
It
that's
happens, man. It's the way travel works.
well the fact that the Big Ten
Um,
matched the SEC on getting big teams, we just happen to be in a lot more spaced out, and that's just going to be the way it is. I mean, there's
yeah,
not really a way around.
exactly. Yeah. All right, so let's get into some Super Bowl stuff. Obviously, my team, we made it. We didn't have, the win that we we wanted, but we got there. There's a lot of key takeaways from this game. Um, Drake May had one hell of a season. Vrabel gave a big middle finger to all the Tennessee Titans organization. So it was really cool, magical run. No one expected us to be there. I think our win-loss record was 9.5 or maybe 8.5. So just to get into the playoffs, AFC Championship game, Super Bowl is just incredible to watch from what they did. But there was a lot that went wrong in this Super Bowl for New England, and a lot of that was the offensive side of the ball. Offensive line played terrible. Will Campbell gave up 14 pressures, which was 30% of Drake May's dropbacks, and that was a Super Bowl record, I'm pretty sure, if not tied for a Super Bowl record. And dude, something's got to change on the offensive line. He's got to go to left guard, maybe bring in a left tackle. Because watching him, I know he had the MCL sprain, so he wasn't technically 100%. But dude, you could tell the rookie nerves set in. You could tell the frustration set in within the first drive, and he was getting bullied every single snap, man. It was just hard to watch. So, what do you think? Like, do you think now he's a rookie, so let's keep it at that. And there are a lot of New England fans are like really pissed off that they played him through the second half. They're pissed off that Vrabel said, "This is our guy. We're gonna keep him." Um, but what do you think? Do you think he should move to left guard? Do you think you should bench him early on in the season just to get those visual reps? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that, and I don't know his exact numbers, but you heard his name a lot this year. I think that overall, what you saw from him over the body of work matters more because he's a rookie than him failing in that moment.
Yeah.
And I hope that he's
Yeah.
able to use that as motivation to come back better, to prep, to realize where he's falling short because he's young and he has a lot of time to grow. In any sport, so many times now it's like if a guy doesn't immediately produce, get him out. And I don't agree with that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't either. You got to give the
You
guy
gotta
at
give the
least
guy
a shot.
you know, it, and they're going to blame a lot of that on him, and a lot of that is to blame on him. But that whole offense was stagnant. I mean, they
Yeah, it
couldn't
was.
get anything going. I, I was down in Louisville with my buddy Owen Price. Shout out Owen Price. He just got a
Hey,
house,
I know. Yeah, I know that guy.
and I looked at him. I said, "Man, this might be the most boring first half of a Super Bowl I've ever seen in my lifetime." Because it was just such a
Yeah.
defensive stop game, and they couldn't get anything going on offense. But there, I'm gonna circle back on you. Patriots fans did not deserve a Super Bowl this soon after Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. You know I'm right too.
I kinda felt that coming before we hopped on a call.
I mean, you guys
No, I'm
don't
gonna
get
disagree
to
I'm gonna disagree with you.
you don't get to
We
have
went through
the
5
greatest coach
years.
of all time, the greatest quarterback of all time, win 6 rings in New England, and then that was the last one was what, 2019? And 6, 7 years later, you're back in the
20,
bowl.
yeah.
I was like, honestly, I was rooting against you just for that fact. Like,
Yeah. Most people were. I mean, the whole world was on Seattle, of course.
which
No
is
one
why
wanted
I
to
thought
see
New
New
England
England
would
win
win,
another
though.
Super Bowl.
Whenever I saw the amount of bets on
Yeah.
Seattle, I was like, "Oh my gosh, New England's gonna win or at least cover," you know? And,
Yeah, it was 80% of the bets were on Seattle's money line. But I mean, obviously, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm like, we went through 6 years of hardship. We should be back in the Super Bowl.
you know you're talking you see that you're talking to an IU football fan?
Yes.
You went through 6 years, I've gone through a life.
Yes.
No, and,
Yeah.
but to pile on that, I also think that people shouldn't be as hard as they're being on Drake May. He had a bad game, but he
Yeah.
had no
They're really
time.
hard on him right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
but the reason why is because if he won it, they were gonna make him the next Brady. If he lost it, you're gonna say, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
he's lucky to be," that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But give the guy some time. I mean, second year and he's got you in the
Yeah.
Super
It's
Bowl.
his
If
second
there's
year.
anything negative to be
Yeah.
said, I think that that's a little bit too early. Um,
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
and I
And yeah,
think
the
that Mike
offense was
Vrabel
very
is a great
stagnant.
coach, and you know, he didn't
Yeah.
coach the
It's
greatest Super
awesome.
Bowl, and no one's on him. Now,
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know why.
to get at our guy Ryan Hebner, I'm like, why the heck did the Titans not keep Vrabel and why'd you not do whatever it takes to make him happy? Look at you now. But
Yeah.
you can lead a horse to water.
Yeah.
You can make him drink.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Drake obviously didn't have his best game. There was multiple times within the game that he was holding the ball too long. I think his average throw time was 2.38 seconds, which is a lot in the NFL, especially against that front four. I mean, they were getting penetration with just four guys the entire game. And then when they sent the blitz, it was over before the snap even occurred. So, I mean, shout out to Seattle's front. Shout out to all linebackers, corners. I mean, Witherspoon was absolutely amazing. He had that strip interception play, sacked Drake twice. I mean, their defense just completely dominated. And we saw this clip. I don't know if you remember this, but when Sam Darnold was with New York, he said that whenever he was playing against New England, he said that he was seeing ghosts. I don't know if you ever saw that or not, but it kind of felt like the opposite. I felt like Drake May was kind of seeing ghosts at this point. And the crazy thing was, they were just playing zone coverage the entire game. So it's not like it was anything new that Drake May was facing all season long. It was just their front four, man. They just got pressure through the gaps and created a lot of pressures and hurry ups to force Drake May into bad throws.
I mean, like you're saying, that also just goes back to the O line underperforming. And I
Yep,
don't know if that's a scheme thing. I don't know if that's just they had their number that day. But whenever you got a young QB and he's pressured on over half of his snaps, how much can you really expect out of the guy? I don't think
exactly.
you can
Yeah.
expect.
Yeah. So there was an interview after the game. I think it was like 2 days after the game. I think it was, oh, man, I can't remember who. Might have been Lawrence said that during film study, they could tell like what the snap was going to be because the offensive line was kind of tipping the pitches. Like in baseball, whenever you see a pitcher tip their pitches to know exactly what they're going to throw as a
Whenever you
hitter,
know what they're
that's kind of what
getting.
the offensive line was doing. Exactly. So, dude, they found the edge just based off the offensive lineman's alignment,
My,
and
my
they executed.
my question to that, though, is so they play a 17-game season and they make it all the way through the playoffs without a single other professional organization realizing what their tell is. And just,
Well, I mean,
I mean,
certain guys study certain film. I don't know. I
but
also
to
thought
make it
about
through
that too. I'm like,
everything, yeah,
yeah,
I
especially
don't know.
against Houston, like Ryan, D'Amico Ryan. How does he not see?
Because,
Yeah, I mean,
I
they
mean, let's be
sacked
honest,
Drake May six
Houston was
times.
probably the best defense in the league this year. They're 1A and
They
1.
were, yeah. I mean, they were very well up there. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm just gonna steal this segment for a second. I'm gonna say this: the Indianapolis Colts, the first 8 weeks of the season, were better than any team in the season.
Dude, they were dominant.
Dude,
They were really
you
good.
bring in Phillip Rivers and give him 2 days of practice, and at Seattle we lost by a last second thing. Like,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
that's whenever
dude.
they did focus on Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones is gone. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I'm like, man, could you imagine if the Colts would have been like healthy and like won
Yeah.
too? Like, anyway, but no, I mean,
Colts were fun to watch at the beginning of the season.
oh, dude, they were like playing dominant football. I was like, oh my gosh, Daniel Jones is him. Oh,
Yeah,
Zach,
literally.
I gotta give you one more thing too. And hold on, I'm gonna put my phone on the screen here. So I sent this to Hevner and he cracked up. Before the season started, I made a tweet about who I thought should be the Colts quarterback before we had already gotten Daniel Jones. And I tweeted and I said, hold on. It's going to be backwards. Here, I'll just read it. I said, I don't care
Okay.
about the narrative. I want Sam Darnold in Indianapolis next year. And
And look what he does. He wins a championship.
and some Hoosier fan replied to me like a profile with no picture. And he goes, this fits because all of your takes are horseshit. And I waited until after the Super Bowl and I replied to him. I said, LOL, dumbass.
Did he end up responding to that?
Didn't say a word.
That's awesome.
But you
Dude,
saw
that
Sam
is
Darnold with the Vikings
absolutely.
last year, and it's like this guy can play quality football for an organization that has their head on right. And
Well, who actually gives a shit? Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
I mean, I talked
did you
about
see?
this last time.
So
If you go
I
to the
have one thought.
Jets, your career's over.
Oh, dude, did you see? You're a Western Virginia guy. Geno Smith played at Western Virginia, right? Or West
Yeah, he
Virginia.
did. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was a funny tweet on him today. I was like, dang, that's kind of mean. It was like, imagine that you're so bad that the team who gets rid of you immediately wins the Super Bowl, and the team that picks you up has the first overall pick.
Yeah.
That's a tough look for Geno. And no, just
Yeah, it is.
no. I mean, I loved his season with Seattle last year, but I saw that tweet and I was like, dang, that's tough.
Yeah. It kind of roasted Gino a little bit.
He kind of got astray, didn't he? Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. But anyway, talking about quarterbacks, just going off Drake May's performance, he had an EPA of negative 0.29, was under pressure 52.8% of his dropbacks. And that EPA stat actually was the worst in Super Bowl history. The next closest guy had a negative, I think it was 2.79, and that was when Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl based off his defense alone. So as much as people are going to put all this pressure on Drake May, didn't perform. I mean, there was no run game, there was no blocking. It seemed like Josh McDaniels was kind of running this air raid vertical routes the entire game. There was no quick throws. I saw one to Stephon Diggs on a little bubble screen, but for a guy that's really good at offensive game plans, drawing up, big plays. There was no screen plays throughout the entire game. Like I didn't see any halfback screens, and that's something that Josh McDaniels does a lot throughout the season. I remember watching
Oh
when
yeah.
Brady was there. Dude, it seemed like every third down was a screen. I'm like, Josh, can we please move the ball down the field? And then getting to the Super Bowl, it was let's try and move the ball down the field. It's not working. Okay, let's just keep going and going. Like, dude, we got to develop something. There's got to be some type of screen,
No
quick
momentum.
pass. There was just nothing. And you got Stephon Diggs in a slot. Let's target the guy, move him into like a 3-yard slant, and get some at least something going. But they just couldn't do anything. And it all starts in the trenches. That's how football is won. And Seattle dominated.
And that was the big difference for Indiana this year compared to last year when they lost to the big schools. Was last year I was at the Notre Dame game when we lost. I was at the Ohio State game. Both those games we got absolutely dominated on the lines. I mean, could not
Yeah.
block to save a prayer. This year they brought in the Hogs, fixed it, and that's the difference. So you're exactly correct. The trenches are where it's all made. I will say this though. I think Diggs deserves a little bit more criticism. You're a veteran guy. You've
During the
got a
game.
young quarterback. I'm not saying that he had a horrible showing or anything, but I'm saying like he should have been in that huddle making a difference on what those guys were thinking. And I just don't think he's that type of guy. I think he's a diva. And
You
that
think he's
kind
a
of,
diva? See,
I don't think that he's a great veteran.
yeah. See, I would beg to differ with that one just because of what Stephon Diggs did throughout the entire playoffs. Like he was a big voice for that offense, and Drake May and Vrabel talked about it in their press conferences about it. So while he didn't do much in the Super Bowl as far as his voice, because we didn't see that at all, I think there was a lot of stuff that was going outside of that, especially with his allegations and all that stuff,
And then him and his
and
girlfriend broke up immediately after the
his
Super Bowl.
girlfriend.
So you tell me
Exactly.
there
So
was
there was
nothing in his head
obviously
going into it? I mean,
oh, yeah. So there was definitely a lot going on with his head during
yeah.
that game. And obviously, if they broke up after the Super Bowl, let's talk about before the Super Bowl 2 weeks
Well, yeah.
after the AFC Championship game. There's a lot of shit that's going down as well. So,
I will not
yeah, I don't.
assume, but one can only imagine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that was going on at home with that. But I mean, we got to give all the credit to Seattle. Their run game was dominant, especially on the outsides. Kenneth Walker had 114 yards on 21 carries. and he just did most of that, like I said, on the outside. I feel like New England bottled him up pretty well in the A and B gaps, but once he split outside, man, he was gone, and he was so patient with his running game. I mean, talk about looking like Le'Veon Bell. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
the
this is why fantasy football comes down to luck. A guy who does nothing all year in fantasy football ends up being the most valuable player on the Super Bowl team in the Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. I mean, part of that was because Charbonnet wasn't in the game, but
Correct.
he
Correct.
yeah. I mean, we saw all season long, whenever they get to the red zone, it's like, okay, Kenneth Walker, go sit on the bench, drink some Gatorade, eat some popcorn. Let's let Charbonnet do all the rest of the work. I'm like, dude, that I guarantee you that played a huge role mentally for Kenneth Walker in
Oh,
the
getting him
playoffs. So
going.
once Sharps goes down, he goes, okay, I'm getting my chance
Let
and
me
I'm
show
going
you
to
guys what I
execute.
do. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what he did. So they did great. Their offensive line did really well.
Did you think that there was at all a chance that I don't know the name right? Is it Jason Myers, the Seattle kicker,
That he was going to win Super Bowl MVP.
that he would have gotten the MVP? I mean, he has the most points in a season in history now, past LT
I'm
and
not gonna
the
lie.
field goals.
I think he should have won it.
A kicker though,
Yeah, why not? Kenneth
because
Walker didn't
football's
even
not kicking.
score.
Well, Kenneth Walker did score like a 60-yard runaway touchdown that would have been his moment, and then they called it back because it was like a hold or whatever. But
I
yeah,
mean, it was pretty blatantly obvious it was a hold.
I'm
And
sorry,
I'm
but
not just saying that because I'm
100 plus
biased.
yards from your running back just to me is more than
Yes,
they're making all this. I mean, shout out to Seattle kicker. I hope I got the name right there. Jason Myers, I think it
it's
is.
Jason Myers. Yes. Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
And shout out to him getting the all-time. But I'm sorry, but if your NFL MVP is a kicker, that's just kind of a joke to me. It's a different sport.
I mean, yeah. If anything, I would probably give it to Witherspoon for creating the defensive touchdown.
Dude, he is. What
He's
does his
good, man.
contract situation look like? Because he's getting paid.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract is, but we would have to probably look that up. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, he'll be in it for a while.
He's Zach.
Dude,
Once this
talk
thing,
about a
once this thing really gets rolling, you're gonna have a guy on the side whose whole job is just looking up little stats.
yeah, that'd be sick. Would Hey, look this up for me. That'd be so cool. But talk about a guy that's gonna get paid. Christian Gonzalez, absolute stud. Broke up 2 touchdowns, 3 pass breakups. I mean,
Are they even
that dude.
can they even keep him once he has a like, I don't know how that
Well, we do
you
have the
got
most
to.
money. Yeah, well, we have the most money for. We'll restructure his because he's still on his rookie deal. So,
How long until May ends up getting paid again? Because he's 2 years in.
2
Fourth
years left.
year? Yeah,
So, yeah,
gotcha.
it's his 4th year is when he'll get that big contract, depending on how things go the rest of the way. But I think Drake's going to be in New England for a good 20 years, probably, or I'm just throwing numbers out there, 15 to 20 years.
As long as he doesn't fall off of a cliff in terms of production,
Yeah,
I think so too.
yeah. I don't. Wait, who was the guy that said Tom Brady was falling off a cliff? Oh
Was it
man,
Max Kellerman?
it was Max.
Max said Brady is going to fall off a cliff, and then he went and won
And
that.
he won the Super Bowl.
Hey,
Like
Max has a lot of great takes too, but he also has
he
like
does.
he also has a take where he's like, "Fate of the world on the line, alien beam pointed at the Earth. Give me Iguodala." I mean, he has some takes that are out there.
Bro, he's paid to say that. Like, come on. Iguodala,
You
are
know
you
what?
for real?
I, I liked him more than Stephen A. whenever they debate each other. He
Oh,
was
yeah,
way
I
off
did
there.
too. He was
So
more entertaining. Yeah,
Stephen A. and what's the guy's name? Is just Skip Bayless. Them
Skip
two just got
Bayless
on the
was
thing
funny.
together for the first time in years, and it's kind of
I'll
funny if
have to
you haven't
watch
seen it
that.
yet. They did a little
You
review.
know, Skip Bayless was my favorite because he loved Tom Brady. And anytime he would get on the show, he would always just talk crap about every other team, and it was just fun to watch. But
So
that's my biased opinion coming out.
I don't know if you remember this, but I am a diehard LeBron James is the GOAT fan. And
Yes.
we'll talk about that another day, but that's why I'm not a big fan of Skip or Stephen A. because they've literally made their money off of let's talk bad about the current great and talk good about the guy
Yeah.
from the movies so that we can get clicks. And I don't, that's not,
Yeah.
you know. It's
That
just
sounds about right.
it's drama.
Yeah, it is. Yes. Um, but yeah, man. So for the defensive side of the ball for Seattle, dude, look at this. Ernest Jones had 10 solo tackles. I was
Is
like,
that his most on
wow.
the year? That has to be
Do
his most.
what?
That might be his most on the year in a game.
Yeah. Yeah. In a Super Bowl. So that dude showed out. Derek Hall had 2 sacks. Byron Murphy had 2. We highlighted Witherspoon. So that team is going to be in it again next year. If if they can make some off-season moves, especially get the wide receiver 2 position, because Cooper Kupp, let's face it, man, he's getting old. It's about time for him to be done. He didn't really have the whole now, granted, Super Bowl, he did really well. He put him into some good spots, caught the ball well, kind of throughout the whole postseason. But we
Well,
all
I
know the
think he
NFL
got a
season's
role.
long.
Who is the guy who they got rid of this year who was forever their Baldwin?
Yeah. That guy
I
was
mean, I think that he filled or exceeded that role, but you're right, it's a temporary solution, it's a Band-Aid on a wound.
yes. Yep. So if you're Seattle, I'm looking at the free agency market, and for a number 2 guy, Wandell Robinson out of New York had a 1,000-yard season. Electric kid, very quick. I'm thinking to myself, why not pair him up with JSN? That could be a nasty duo.
So, Zach, I can't give you an intellectual analysis on that because I haven't watched him enough,
Yeah.
but the first thing that comes to my mind is how many of those catches were garbage time heaves with New York this year? I don't know,
I
I'm just asking.
I don't think there was many because they were in some games, like especially against Denver when they were blowing them out, and then Denver came back and won. Um, but yeah, I don't think there was much. Like they were in a lot of close games whenever Jackson Dart was playing.
Huh. I mean, if that's the case, then you just gotta look at what you gotta give up to what you gotta get.
Yeah. So looking at the 2026 wide receiver free agents, there are some big names on the market. George Pickens, who could be a wide receiver 1 at certain spot or certain teams.
If you can get
You
his head
got
right.
Mike Evans, who yeah, you got Mike Evans, who could be a number 1 even though he's getting old. Debo Samuel, getting old. Alec Pierce, dude, I love Alec Pierce.
How about that boy
He
out of Cincinnati?
Bro, he is so good. His deep threat, the way he positions his catches at the highest point. I remember watching him against Houston where he caught that seam route down the middle against 2 defenders, and one was against Stingley Jr. and high pointed the ball, made an awesome catch for a touchdown. So, talk about a guy that can make a splash
But
in the
in
free
terms of
agency market.
I think he has to be at the best year 3 if you're on a legitimate football team. I don't think he's going up against ones and twos on a day in, day out basis and doing that type of thing. I think that what happens is he gets lost in a scheme, and he's a deep ball threat, and he's a
Yeah.
great but I don't think he's a guy who can go up against the best you got every week in and week out and produce. I love Alec Pierce. I hope he stays a Colt. There's a reason why we didn't pay there was somebody that we didn't pay this year, I'm going blank, but because we knew we were gonna pay Pierce. I mean, the Colts believe in him.
Yeah.
But as far as being a wide receiver 1, 2 on a team competing for a championship, I hate to say I don't see that.
Yeah, okay. All right. I like that. Yeah,
I mean,
we'll
and
see. I mean,
that's
I
coming
don't
from a
know.
Colts fan, you know. I just
Yeah.
now
Yeah, I can see him
Josh
getting
Downs
lost in
has a better chance of
schemes.
that than him. Josh Downs is a
Yeah.
dog, but
Yeah,
different
he
type
is a
of player
dog.
too. Deep threat versus slot and quick route and yeah.
Right. Other notable ones, Jawan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed. I feel like Seattle will re-sign Shaheed,
Now
just because he
this
gives
might
him
be a
that dual
dumb
threat.
comment, but how do you rate a guy coming out of San Francisco? Like a Jawan Jennings, because everyone goes to San Francisco and they have success. Is it because of the offense
Right.
or because of them? You know,
Well,
well,
I mean, the
that's where
guys
the
that come
Vikings
out of
messed
the
up.
offense.
That's where the
You say
Vikings
what?
messed up the quarterbacks. Is they thought,
Right.
oh, I can make Kirk Cousins great, I can make Sam Darnold great, surely I can make JJ McCarthy great, and it's like it's hard
Yeah.
to evaluate that.
Well, it's the Shanahan effect over in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Shanahan makes everybody look good. That's just what he does. So, but I don't know, man. The size of Juwan Jennings, he's got size. He can catch the ball. So we'll see. And then some other notable ones. We talked about Wandale Robinson, Romeo Dobbs, and
They've got so many receivers that are all in the same breath. It's kind of like take your pick over there in Green Bay.
yeah, it's kind of weird. I hated betting on the Packers because I don't know who was going to score. You
Whenever
don't
they got
know
Micah, I thought they were going to be a problem. Like
when who.
whenever they got Parsons, I thought like they were going to be a problem.
Yeah, poor Parsons freaking torn his ACL and everything. But so you got what, like 5 minutes left here? Yeah,
Um,
let's let's get your prediction on IU making it into the tournament. Joel Lenardi has them in right now. As of today.
so remaining schedule, I think that, and this is just off the top of the head, I think that we got Illinois coming to us. I think we have to play at Mackey with Purdue. There's 3 games that are like top 10 games, I believe, that are going to be very, very hard. I know it's right here in a text you I got. Let me see if I can find it. Just because I'd love to give you an exact amount. Okay. So Sunday, we got Illinois coming to Bloomington. They're number 8. Then the next Friday at Purdue. At Purdue is going to be a loss. We're not going to 2-0 them this year. It's already disrespectful enough that we won a game after winning the national title. So you're going to lose to Purdue. Then we got against Northwestern. That's a very winnable game at Assembly Hall. You've got Michigan State, number 10 right now, coming to Assembly Hall. Then Minnesota, Ohio State. So Northwestern, Minnesota, Ohio State, all winnable games. If you 3-0 those and you win one of the games against the ranked teams, you're in. But that's a tall task.
Right.
The team has gelled, and I'll tell you what. At the beginning of the year, I was so mad that we did not get Ben McCollum, the head coach of Iowa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year when it wasn't meshing yet, I was like, see, I'm telling you. And then Iowa comes into Indiana with less talent and beats us by 18, I think. And I was like, I'm telling you guys. But the way that he has adapted with this team and the way that they have gelled recently, I'm having an open mind to it. I think it's 50-50. It could go either way. I mean,
Yeah.
one of those
So
games.
I feel like if you
That's fair.
guys
You want me to give you a full prediction? My prediction, because I'm an IU diehard and I'm biased and nothing else, we are going to make the tournament. If you ask me what IU, I'd say probably not. But we're going to make it.
I
The Hoosiers, there's so
I
much
think
charisma going on in Indiana right now and in Bloomington in particular. There's
yeah.
so much buy-in into sports that I think that might just push it over the edge.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you guys steal one on the road in your next 2 games in Illinois, in Purdue, you're in automatically. I don't care
oh,
if you lose the rest of your games. You're
oh
in.
no, you still got to win those games against the Northwesterns, But if you and I were talking a week
Well,
and we'd won one of those, then I'm like, oh yeah, dude, yeah, we're gonna win it all.
yeah.
No, not gonna win it all, but there's so
Well,
much
not one at all, but
ball this year. I mean, it's unreal.
yeah, there's a lot.
And it's
All
interesting that
right, so
NIL.
I like that.
It's interesting that NIL has not affected the Big 12 and ACC in basketball. I mean, they seem like they're the 2 best conferences, maybe. Not just
Yeah, oh
affecting the
yeah,
SEC and Big 10, but they've got some dogs.
dude. Big 12, yes, they're actually tied with the Big 10 and how many teams are going to make it. I have it somewhere on here. Uh, I don't remember where I put that at, but yeah, they're tied with the Big 10 on how many teams are in that position to get into the tournament, which I feel like we see every year, though. I feel like the Big 10, Big 12, they're all either at like 12, 11, 10. Like they're no less than 9 every single year.
What I'm
It's
tired of
just,
with the Big 10 is every year our refs let them play and don't blow a whistle as much. Then they get to the tournament, the whistle gets blown, and they lose. I mean,
yeah,
adapt to the rest of college basketball. That's what I hope NIL ends up doing for the Big 10 because there's no reason why they haven't had a winner in 26 years. That's unacceptable.
yeah. So going into the Big 10, we talked about, how many teams are going to be in it, but Michigan currently sits at the number 1. They're 23-1. They will more than likely go get a 1 seed. Illinois number 2, Purdue number 3, which you guys beat Purdue.
Man, you want to talk about the worst 8 to 10-day stretch in Purdue history. They have to see IU win a natty in football before they win one in basketball.
Yeah.
Then they lose their next 2 basketball games. Then they come to Assembly Hall and get beat by IU.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I got a lot of guys in my office that are Boilermakers through and through, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Leave me alone, Mendoza. I don't wanna talk." Like, they're waving the white flag right now. They don't even have anything to say. And,
Yeah.
it's like, you would think that I'd just be on them, but I almost feel bad enough that I just been like, "Okay, I mean, I'm gonna be a graceful winner. I'm
Yeah.
just a fan, but,
So they're
so."
tied with Michigan State and Nebraska for the number 3 seed. The Big Ten has 43 quad 1 wins, 62 quad 2 wins, but Michigan leads the conference with 8 quad 1 wins. Did you get a chance to see Michigan? I think they were at Northwestern a couple days ago when Northwestern was actually winning the game.
Did not see the game.
So it was in the first half. Michigan, I think, was down by 10 at Northwestern, and then they came crawling back and won the game. But I was like, oh man, this is about to be an upset for Northwestern and a horrible loss
Oh,
for Michigan. But dude, Michigan, dude, they got that star Lindenberg, averages 14, 7, and 3. Just a pure athlete for them. He's great.
well, their biggest asset is Dusty May. And not to make it about IU, but I just keep swinging things back to IU because that's what I know. So Dusty May was a assistant under Bob Knight. He was one of the what do you call them whenever they're in college? The basketball, like he was one of the guys who was on like the college basketball doing the stuff under Knight. I'm going blank here.
I don't know, like
So
assistant or
you
something?
you got you've got so you got your coach, you got your assistant coaches, and then you have the college students who
Oh,
are
like an
under the
intern?
type of thing. I'm missing the word right now, and it's on the tip of my tongue, but he was one of the, let's say, in college interns under Knight who was on the staff for IU,
Yeah.
and he actually wanted to come back and coach at IU. IU said, "We're gonna give Mike Woodson an extra year," so he took the Michigan job.
Mm.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Can you imagine if we would have had Dusty May and Kurt Cignetti?" But, I mean, that coach has done such an unreal job. The way that he has those guys constantly in motion, and he stays so composed on the sideline. He's not a guy that erupts, kinda like Cignetti. He is even keel. In today's day and age, I don't think erupting does as much with this age of player, but
No.
having knowledge down to a T and just knowing your game plan and then acting on it says a lot. And I can't say more good things about Dusty May. Um, he is one of the top 5 coaches in college basketball right now, and he's the new guy.
Yeah.
And then you got the guy at Nebraska too, um, and they're kinda doing, like, the opposite of IU football for college basketball with Nebraska, you know? Who would have thought that Nebraska would be having the season they're having in basketball?
Oh, they're playing outstanding. Like I said, they were tied 3rd in the standings.
Is it Hoidenberg?
Yeah, it's something like that. I'm about
Yeah.
to pull up
Oh,
his
basketball managers was the word I was looking for. He was a basketball manager under Knight at IU.
I see.
Yeah.
Uh they've got a guy, Price Sanford, Nebraska, who's averaging 17, 4, and 2. So he's putting up some big numbers, points per game wise.
Did you get a chance to see their game against Purdue?
I didn't watch it, no.
They were down 27, came back and should have won the game, ended up losing in overtime by, like, 1. I might be
Oh
wrong on that, but, I mean,
man.
they've got a heck of a ball squad there too, and that's the thing, the Big Ten is just so deep this year. There's no easy win in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, looking at it from, well, not really the top down because
The
Oregon
bottom is rough.
sucks,
Yeah.
Penn State sucks, Northwestern sucks. But Just
So
going through like Michigan, Illinois, Purdue, Nebraska. Dude, Michigan State, you cannot write off Michigan State because they got
you can never
Jeremiah
write off
Fears
Izzo.
over there. Dude, Izzo just does magical things when it comes to the postseason. So you definitely cannot write them off. Um, and then I always feel like this every time I see Wisconsin in the
Oh,
tournament, I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. Like they're about to do this run again because all they do is shoot three balls. And once they
so
start getting on, like they're gonna win.
fundamental and so
Yeah.
Wisconsin is again, I keep making things about IU, I'm sorry, but
You're good.
Wisconsin is an IU fan's nightmare. I don't think that we've won unless we did in the last couple of years, and I'm forgetting about it right now. I think we might have finally, but my entire life, we hadn't won there since 1991. We
Oh
don't win at
my
Wisconsin.
god.
We don't win at Wisconsin. There's something about Wisconsin, that Badger energy. I mean, we don't beat them in their home court.
Yeah. Dude, talk about a team they got Michigan State coming up tomorrow in Wisconsin. So that could be a good quality win for Wisconsin if they can pull that off.
You just never know what you're gonna get from them.
Dude,
Never.
you don't. It's so unpredictable. But they're
Yeah.
so much fun to watch because you just don't know. But gotta love them, man. Milestones to watch. Purdue's point guard Braden Smith has 958 career assists. This was all stats from Monday. I'm pretty sure they played yesterday. So I don't know what he did yesterday, or maybe it was Tuesday that they played. Yeah, he did play. They played against Nebraska and won that game in overtime, like you said. So he had 10 assists there. So he is very close to getting that 1,000 assist mark. Only four players to ever do it. So he currently sits eighth all time in the NCAA. So that guy, that guy could ball out.
Hey, smartest basketball player on the court, always makes the right play. He plays the Purdue way, but the notch I will give him is it's a classic Purdue guy. I mean, great numbers, great player, smart basketball player, great college guy that won't pan out at the next level, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he's great for everything but a deep run in March.
Yeah. Dude, that's just what Purdue does, man. They can't produce in the off or in the
Oh,
postseason. They just
and you
don't.
make you make me smile saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
don't. They choke at every they had what's his face from the Grizzlies? Zach Edey.
so the year with Edie, whenever they made the national title against UConn, I went to downtown Indianapolis Brothers, kinda like the main sports bar, and the whole thing is just full of Purdue fans, and we had one table of all me and my guys from college just decked out in IU gear, and we were
Yeah.
just there literally to be haters, and
Yeah,
man, were
that's
we able
sick.
to hate. I mean, but Matt Painter runs a great program. Heck, I'd take him as IU's coach in a heartbeat. I mean, he's a great coach, but he's also a guy. I don't wanna call him the Dabo Sweeney of college basketball, where Dabo won't adapt to the transfer portal, but Painter refuses to adapt to getting 5 stars and high talented players as opposed to getting his guys.
Yeah.
And we've seen that you do great with your guys, but whenever it comes down to the biggest of big, it usually falls short.
Yeah.
Um, so that's my
Yeah.
and obviously I'm biased on Purdue too. I mean, I'm not gonna say nice
Well,
words about Purdue.
I could care less about Purdue. As long as they lose, I could care less. Yeah, about what they do. And I'm not even a big IU fan. I just don't like Purdue. There's just something about it. Growing up in Indiana, you either like Purdue or you like IU. And
Well, little brother can have their engineering program and lose national title games, and
yeah,
we'll do what we do.
yes. Um, so talk about a guy from Illinois, Keaton Wagler, man. He freshman year he's the front runner for freshman of the year, averages 18 to 5 and 4. He dropped 34 on Monday against Wisconsin in overtime and ended up losing that game. He missed the game winner, but he had 5 threes, went 5 for 10, 12 for 23 from the field. He's obviously if Illinois is going to make a deep run in the playoffs, it will obviously have to come from him. So we'll see how or what they can do. Because if the Big Ten's going to win a championship, I think it has to come from Illinois. Just their play style.
No Michigan in there?
I no, I don't really believe in Michigan, honestly. I like Lendenberg. I think that if they have to go up against Illinois, they're they're undersized.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What I'll say about Illinois is I love their coach and I love their play style.
Yep.
Um,
I
I
think
just
they're different this year because every time in March Madness they lose, whether it's round of 32 or 16, doesn't matter. They always lose in big games, but I don't know. There's something about me that just says this team's different. And I think they can make a good run, and I think they can play well against, if Arizona or UConn or any of those other, top 5 teams. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens, but
I'll give you my other hot take: Nebraska Elite Eight.
Nebraska Elite 8.
Yes,
Okay.
I truly think that Nebraska basketball is the IU football of college basketball and with what they've been able to do. And
Yeah.
even just watching their fans are so into it. Like even though they don't have the biggest stadium, they don't have the biggest crowd, you can hear it on TV. Like that fan base is behind this team and this team has
Yeah.
faith. I think that there's a little bit of Cinderella in them. I don't see a natty, I don't see a Final Four, but I see them making a little run.
Yeah, we are really close to Selection Sunday. Like we're getting there. I think we're just a little over a month on Selection Sunday, so we'll see where they get pulled into the brackets. But man, I really wish my team would get there. I just don't think that's going to happen,
Now,
man.
you guys brought back the coach of old. Is that
You said what?
now? Is that? So now I sound silly, but is that football or basketball? Where you guys? It's football.
We brought
Yeah.
yes.
Because I
Yes.
remember seeing that on McAfee show, and I was like, "Oh, that could be something for West Virginia." And the football hasn't panned out quite yet.
No, I don't know if it will, and we highlighted this earlier. It's because of NIL, man. Like the money is going to go towards Big 10, SEC. And yes, while the Big 12 is third on the rankings, you look at a place like West Virginia. The only thing that there is culture. That's it. There's nothing to do in West Virginia unless you're from there and you know where to hunt and fish, I guess. But and the drinking spots, but there's just not much, and I could say that about a lot of schools in the Big 10 like Iowa or Illinois. I mean, even Bloomington, for God's sakes. It's just the town, and you know what I mean? But it's just different money, and
Yeah.
it sucks for West Virginia because the only chance we ever really had, and I still think about this all the time, was with Gino and Tavon Austin. Like, that was our chance to go do something, and we botched it down the stretch in the regular season.
Yeah.
Yes, we did beat Clemson in the Orange Bowl. I put up 72 points, I think, and absolutely murdered them. Yeah, football game. I don't know if you remember that, but we broke the NCAA record for most touchdowns scored and most points scored in a bowl game.
I do not remember that. I gotta look that up.
Yeah. So look up the Orange Bowl highlights. I want to say Stedman Bailey had 2 touchdowns. Tavon had 2. I think Gino threw for 7 touchdowns or 6, something like that. But dude, what a magical day that was. I
Oh
think all the
yeah.
money was going towards Clemson too, which was hilarious. But
Man,
yeah,
Tavon Austin, you want to talk about a highlight reel? I mean, wow.
dude. So, you know what's hilarious? I was talking to some of my staff members about Tavon Austin, and I was like, "You guys obviously watched the Tavon Austin highlight reel, like everyone has." They're like, "I don't even know who that is. Like, what is that?" I'm like, "You're serious? You call yourself sports fans, and you've
Are we
never
getting older?
watched?"
Are these like younger people? I mean,
No, they're my age, if not older.
and I
I'm
don't
like,
know
"You
Tavon.
you guys don't know the Tavon Austin highlights? My fiance knows the Tavon Austin highlights."
No,
Like
that's wild for people who are working in sports. I can't lie to you. I
like
can't lie
what
to
are
you.
we doing here?
What are we doing? Let's get some classic ball knowledge just as a base, you know?
Like, yes, if I'm gonna show up anybody's highlights, I'm going to Tavon Austin first, and then I'll go to Tom Brady, but it's Tavon Austin highlights, like, come on.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, man, I'm excited for March Madness. I'm a baseball guy. I'm excited for college baseball. That starts tomorrow. We got an 8:30 game in the morning. Houston on the road to Wake Forest. I think it's on the road. It might be neutral site actually. I don't know. But I don't know how much you watch baseball, but I'm excited for it.
I know that UE made a random run when they beat Tennessee like a year or 2 ago. It was crazy. I know that, the SEC is predominantly one of the better conferences in college baseball. One of my best buddies, Drew Ashley, shout out to Drew, he played at IU, and I went and watched some of his games, but that's about the extent of my college baseball knowledge.
Yeah.
I do not have takes to give, and I do not wanna act like I know stuff when I don't, so,
Yeah. No, you're good. I was just kinda highlighting it just for the sake
yeah.
of it. But yeah, man, what a it's so weird whenever football season ends, everyone or half of the US is like, "Well,
What do we
shit."
do now?
Yeah.
I was literally before I came on here, I was sitting with a buddy having a they had a Mardi Gras menu, and we were having some, gator bites and some jambalaya, and he was like, "So what do we do now? Just, like, actually talk to each other instead of watching the screen?" I was like, "I guess that's what we do."
That is hilarious. I don't know who this TikToker is, but he kinda was doing this little skit of, well, football season's over, and then when you got one person sitting on there with the NHL sticker, and it said, "Come over, bud, watch some hockey," or something like that,
"Come
and
on
then
over."
yeah, in, like, Canadian accent or something, and then you got NBA where you're like, "Yeah, we don't play any defense, but you can come watch our stars sit the bench."
They play defense in the modern era. The modern era is just so much more highly skilled, I believe, than post eras that it's a different thing. I mean, if you watch 90s clips, they're not even guarding the 3-point line because they know the guys just aren't gonna shoot. Now the
Yeah,
3-point line
right.
is 3 feet further back, and a guy who's the 10th guy on your roster can come out and go 5 for 6. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
different brand of ball. It's a lot more skilled. It's maybe not as aesthetically pleasing because it doesn't look like they're trying as hard, but I think it's just more the strategy there.
Yeah,
That's my
it could
I
be.
will defend modern NBA because they're special. I mean, there's a clip last week, and I was so happy for him because a kid that gets so much hate just because of what he was born into is Bronny James.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's, "Oh, he's a nepo baby. He doesn't belong in the league, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, guys, the guy was a five-star McDonald's All-American who had a heart attack on the court at USC. Okay. He has a heart attack on the court. He comes back a year later. He's not playing that well. Then he goes to the G League and he averages like over 40% from three, plays great, and he's a great defender for his size because he has his dad's hops. But then I'm not saying that he's ever going to be an NBA star. He's not. But could he transition his way into a role player or develop eventually? I do believe so. There's a
Yeah.
clip last week, and he stuffs Kelly Olynyk from behind at the rim, grabs the ball, goes down, passes it, gets the ball passed back to him, then hits a lay fuck you three, step back on Olynyk. And I'm just like, see, the guy has like I just hate the people. I feel bad for him that people hate on him so bad because did he get drafted to the Lakers because of his dad? Probably.
Well, probably.
But also, how many 57th picks end up being anything anyway?
Right.
And
I think
so I don't know.
yeah,
I'm just an ant. He gets so much hate just for his last name being James that he has to deal with. I mean, I get he also gets to be LeBron's son, but
right.
I hope that he does well, and I think that the talent's there.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and this is hopefully common knowledge to people. It may not be, but if you're an NBA athlete, I don't care what or what depth of the roster you're at, dude, you're gonna ball out on anyone that's
Oh, if
not in the NBA. There's
even if you're in the
s
G League and you go to an
yes,
open court, I mean, you are going to be Michael Jordan times 5 against the normal population.
exactly. Yes.
It's a skill
So,
sport for a reason,
yeah,
and that's
right.
why it's so elite. And ain't in football, you got 22 guys on any given play. In basketball, you got 10.
Right.
I mean, it's just a different ball game.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyway, going back to that video, I thought it was really funny. This dude just like, I don't know what to watch anymore, and then there was the Olympics thing, and he looked at all of them, closed the door, and walked out, and you just hear him crying.
Yeah, we are kind of in the we're in the winter of sports right now. That's for sure.
Yes, we are. But I mean, I don't know. I really haven't paid attention to much of the Winter Olympics. I don't really care for the Winter Olympics as much. I like summer because of track and field, and
The Summer Olympics just has way more major sport to it. The
yeah.
one thing that I will the one thing that I will shout out. First off, on the Winter Olympics, the sports like the bobsled where they're like going like 80 miles an hour down a thing, or like whenever they go off the giant ramp and they do like five flips in the air and then land on their skis. I'm like, how do you learn that? Do you like break your legs 5 times in the process? Like, how do you learn to do
Well,
that? So I'll
better
give them that.
question.
It is high. It is very high risk sport, and I respect that.
Yeah,
The other person that I want to give a shout out to just on the Winter Olympics, Lindsey Vonn.
yeah,
You try to make a big comeback whenever you're already like the best that they've ever seen at your profession. You tear your ACL. The next day, you're posting online, doing squats, doing side lunges. You go and do 2 trial runs, and your ACL holds up. But then, whenever she goes down the slope, she's trying to hook onto the side of the flag things, which I don't know what they're called. And
I
she's
don't
never done
either.
that in her career. She tries to hook on, falls down, major compression fractures in her leg, has to get airlifted off, end of her career. With a
Yeah,
torn ACL, trying to go out there and do it.
yeah,
USA still wins gold, but because she has motivated the next generation so much. But I want to give her a shout out to tear your ACL on a comeback,
yep,
still say I'm gonna do it, and then go down the way she did. I mean, you know what? I mean that's kind of like America in a bottle shell, just
dude.
fighting. So
She's pouring her blood, sweat, and tears onto getting trying to.
she is a bad A.
Yeah, she's cool, man. Yeah. So that's respectful, man. That's pretty cool to see that out of her.
And I am not a Winter Olympics expert, but just seeing that, even just as like a bystander, I was like, wow. I mean that takes some grit.
Yeah, it does. But the other question is, how do you know you're good at bobsledding? Like,
That's what I'm like. I'm watching them go, and it's like I don't know if they're going at 70 miles an hour, 60. I don't care. I'm like, how do you learn that? Like the first time,
yeah,
like I, it's beyond my mind. It's like, how do they learn? Like, oh, I can do this. It's like
yeah,
I was
you
the
just
one that didn't die, or was
yeah. Like, where's practice facilities? Like, where
and
is all this?
and it has to be like ultra wealthy people because it's not like people say like golf's a rich sport in America. Well, how many people you know that know where a bobsledding facility is?
Yeah, do you have that in your backyard, like
I mean, I don't know.
up in
Honestly,
Alaska
that
or
is just
something?
I got no clue. I just watched and I'm like, wow, that seems like dangerous and scary. And how the heck did you learn it? So the Winter Olympics to me is just like people who have a high threshold for I'm not worried about the worst possible outcome.
Yeah, they're just adrenaline junkies.
But you know what my favorite is to watch? The
S
curling.
See,
When they
I don't
slide that
understand
little
that sport.
they slide the thing and they I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's something that gets me going. I'm like, "Let's go."
You see the one that slide and she's just, like, holding it in the pose the whole time. Go!
Well, and then she tells the guy what to do as he, like, does, like, the squeegee or whatever
Yeah.
you wanna call it. I mean, we don't sound like
Whoa.
sports analysts talking about this because we don't know about it, but, I mean, that
Dude, I
that
know
is fun to
nothing
watch.
about curling. I couldn't tell you how to keep score, what the mop thing is. I don't even know what the thingy is that they slide out there.
Oh,
But
and I'm so arrogant, I'm like, "Man, let me slide that thing. I'll slide in the middle." You know?
it it
That
can't
seems
be
like
that
cornhole or ping pong,
complicated.
like,
Yeah.
in the
Can't be
Midwest, we're
that.
pretty good at that.
Yeah, we are.
Well, Zach, I also wanna tell you, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, you're
And I
welcome.
wanna personally invite you. So I have season tickets to IU football. I went to every home game except for one. I just wanna say, I want you to come experience Bloomington. So next year, I would love for you and Hebner to come together
That'd
and
be
come to our
awesome.
tailgate, see what it's like now. It's a
Yeah.
different atmosphere, man.
I would love to go see it, dude. That'd be so much fun. Because I went to a tailgate I saw you at that tailgate. The one I went to, I don't remember when that was. 2 years, 3 years ago.
Oh, dude, I mean, I've been at every tailgate for the last 6 years, so, I
Yeah,
don't.
I don't know
But
which. What we
I
didn't
will
go
give
to
you
the
I'll give
game.
you this statistic. Mr. Hevron, my dad, we were doing the numbers. He grilled $1,500 worth of burgers, brats, and hot dogs this year for
Oh
tailgates.
my god, that is a lot.
We do it right. We do it
Dude,
right.
that's amazing. But I'm gonna take you up on that offer. You let me know when the best game to come to, and
We'll figure out the game that makes sense next year, and I'll put you and Heb in a group chat, and you need to
sweet.
come see it, and
I
even get
want
some
to.
footage for your pod. I mean, dude, it's special.
Yeah, who knows when we'll be by the time football season's here with the podcast. So
Man, I think this thing's gonna blow up for you. I mean, the way that you set it up, organize it, I mean,
appreciate
it's
it.
fun to watch too.
Yeah, it's good to have some people on too. Some more IU fans. Why not?
Why not? It's the way to go
Yeah,
right now. That's where the market's moving.
exactly. But yeah, James, I appreciate you being on the show, man. It's been a pleasure having you on. You're talking about your experiences with IU, and dude, what a magical experience to watch the games in person too. Like that's just so cool.
Zach, I spent entirely too much money, but I keep telling myself, whenever you're 65 or 75, whatever, I'm gonna get to tell my grandkids that I was there for the run.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever there's a movie made about it, I'm gonna get to be like, I was there for all of it.
Yeah,
And so
like
to me, that was just something that it wasn't a dollar sign, it was a memory. And
yeah, of
I
course.
loved every second. And, thank God it ended the way it ended. They got it done. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't say much more than that. So,
Well, at least one of our teams got it done.
hey, the Mountaineers will do their thing.
Well, I was talking about New England, but
Oh, oh. I got one more question for you. You can even cut this out. But Coach Darian DeVries,
yes,
how was your feel about him leaving West Virginia?
I was extremely pissed off. Yes. I He talked about how he wanted to be there, like, this fits him, like, he's so excited to be here for the long haul, and then he ends up leaving after his 1st year with his son. I lost a lot of respect after that.
Couldn't quite trust what he had going on as much, which makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very heartbreaking for all West Virginia fans, and I think the whole community took it out anyway.
I knew that
Yeah,
that
all
was
West
kind of a
Virginia.
sour beat on y'all's fan base.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and he's a great recruiter too, like, he knows basketball very well, and it just sucked, man, because it just felt like you were there and for kind of, like, nothing, it seemed like, after he
And that's what
left.
makes me even more like appreciative to have a guy like Sig. Because like the Penn State job came open, the Michigan job came open, you know. He could have,
Yeah,
and Sig is from Pennsylvania. He could have said, "Oh, I'm going back to Penn State," blah blah blah. And he said, "Why would I leave? We're the emerging superpower in college football." I mean,
right.
he's just like, "I'm here," and you don't see. I mean, Lane Kiffin, what he did to Ole Miss,
Yeah.
you just don't see loyalty these days as much. It's all about
No,
dollar
it's
figures.
all about chasing money. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And as an IU fan, I'm like, well, of course DeVries would come. We got the historic program, we've got the better facilities, we've got more NIL
yeah,
money. Like, but then you look at it as an IU football fan, it's like, how lucky am I to have a guy like that? That's like,
right.
no, I'm loyal. No side
Yeah.
piece needed. No next wife. This is it.
Yeah, and I was hoping that DeVries or DeVries, however you wanna say his name, I was hoping that he would kinda chase the legacy Bob Huggins created for West Virginia.
What a great
Just based
coach.
I know, man, dude, and talk about a guy who deserved a national championship. I mean, going back to the glory days of Press Virginia, but no one we don't do that anymore, but, dude, I miss Bob Huggins. He
Oh,
did everything right for that team.
and you can debate it all day, but college basketball is still the hardest championship to win because it is a field of 64 single elimination.
Yes, I agree.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Can't
college
have a
football
bad
keeps
night.
expanding,
Yeah,
and they're talking about going from 12 to this. They're talking about going from 12 to 16 to this, that, and the last thing I'll leave you with, and I'm sorry, I know I'm going kind of off
you're good.
kilter here, but the fact that just because Notre Dame has so much TV revenue because of their deal, that they get a clause for next year that says if they are ranked in the top 12, they automatically get in. I mean, join a conference and get some balls.
I agree, dude. I agree, 100%. Like, I don't care if it's the ACC, bro. Go join a conference.
Oh, and now every night they're posting just them beating IU last year. It's like, that was a different team, right?
Yeah, for real.
It's like, the team Miami that beat you? Yeah, we beat them in the national title.
Yeah,
Like, it's like, oh, we're so entitled because we bring in TV revenue that we deserve a spot no matter what, as long as we're ranked top 12. So if we're ranked 12th and another team's ranked 11 and they don't win their conference, that team gets booted out. And the fact that the NCAA agreed to that, there's some things there that need to be worked out.
yeah. Well, I mean, you highlighted that, college basketball is probably the hardest thing to win. And I definitely agree with that because if you look at it, basketball is a completely different sport. It's not about how physical you are. It's not about how much size you have on the interior or you got a 6'8" wide receiver that can just jump over everybody. Dude, basketball it's
The ultimate team game.
yes, and it's a game of runs. So there is no of that in football. Yeah, you can have a team go for 3 touchdowns right off the gate, and they're probably gonna win it by that point, but, yeah, basketball, dude, anybody can win. We saw, the Cinderella team, the 16 seed beat Virginia, and
Oh, are you talking Farley
y
Dickinson? Are you
U
talking
UMBC
oh,
or US whatever.
you remember the team, the Peacocks, that beat
Yes,
Purdue and Kentucky?
yes, like,
Oh
that's what
gosh.
I'm talking about, like, you don't have those Cinderella stories in
No. You're
college
not gonna you're
football.
not gonna have a mid-major, which, you know what, though? I was gonna say you're not gonna have a mid-major that comes in and upsets someone in the college football playoff, but, Oregon's first game against James Madison gave Oregon a game.
Yeah, run for their money, but
I
let's
mean
just
I mean, hey, you know what? And people are like, "They shouldn't be in it." Well, we we belt to ass Alabama a lot worse than Oregon belt to ass James Madison.
yeah,
So, there is a place for him, it's just it's 1 or 2 spots,
yeah,
but it's a different sport, that's what you're getting
yeah,
at. And
like,
that's why March Madness is so electric, right?
yeah, anybody can win on a given night, and you don't really see that with a 12 seed in college football against a 2 seed or however
I
you
agree.
wanna you know what I mean? Like,
I agree. Wha
there's a
wha
r
what was the biggest upset of the college football season in that term? I can't even think of one.
I don't know. Yeah,
Really, I can't. So,
yeah,
to
I
your
mean,
point, you're right. You see that in basketball so much more often than you see that in another sport.
yeah, exactly. I mean, what was it, 5 years ago? Virginia, like I said, lost to a 16 seed. I think they were favored by 27.5. Like,
Man, imagine hammering that money line.
dude, I mean, it was probably plus 2,000. Like,
Oh, that's one more thing I gotta put out on a podcast. Zach, so before the season, I got given, like, 5 $2.50 free bets on my book,
yeah.
and I put 4 of them on, like, the front runners, and then just as a joke, I was like, "Oh, and I'm gonna take IU to win the national title 100 to 1." So I got $250 just 'cause I had a free
Dude,
bet.
that's awesome.
Well, I
Um,
don't even care about the money, it's just the fact that I have a screenshot. It's like, "See, I bet on him before the year." You know?
yeah. So, actually, you kinda brought this up. One of my buddies was talking about this, and this is gonna be the last thing because I know we've been on here for a while. Um, one of my friends in class, she I think it was her cousin or something, someone that she knows that's a family relative. I don't remember what she said, but she threw down $5 at the beginning of the season of the NFL season that the Patriots would play the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. She won 5 grand off of that. 5 to win 5 grand.
That is insane.
Isn't that
You need
nuts?
to ask her what her religion is, what her daily routine is. We need to evaluate this. That's
Yeah.
talent. That's
Isn't that
talent.
insane? Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was her
Oh
first
my
bet she ever
gosh.
placed.
Well, the way that I was making profit throughout the end of this year was I was like, all right, bet heavy on IU football to cover, bet heavy on IU basketball to lose. Then IU basketball started playing better, and now I've been betting on IU basketball, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. But the only game that I did lose big was I bet on Purdue to beat IU because I was like, there's no way they can take that disrespect of us winning a natty, them losing 2 straight, then coming to Assembly Hall and losing. I just didn't see it.
Yeah,
But the thing about IU is we are a straight up 3-point shooting team. If we hit threes, we can beat anybody. If we miss, we can
right.
lose to anybody. And that night they hit.
Yeah.
So, and shout out to Lamar Wilkerson, 2 40-point games this year.
Dude,
What a
he is
Hoosier.
so good. Me and Ryan highlighted him in a pod, and dude, he is a dog.
Well, dude, he just went for 40 or 41, and there was 2.5 minutes plus left. They pulled him out of the game because they were worried they might have rolled his ankle. It's like the record at IU is either 44 or 46. He could have broke the record. And there
Dang.
and he didn't even care. He's like, "No, just take me out, coach. I'm gonna go back to the locker room. I'm good. Another
He
40."
probably didn't even know what the record was.
Honestly, that might be why he reacted the way he did. But I mean, he was so nonchalant. He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Let's talk
Yeah,
about it."
I didn't know.
So anyway,
But anyway,
well, brother,
yep,
I appreciate you again having
of
me
course.
on. This has been an awesome talk. I would love to be back sometime with you. We will talk more. If I'm ever in Nashville, I'm definitely going to give you a ring.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah,
And
I appreciate you being on.
one of these days, you and I do too well. We got to win this dang fantasy football league.
I know, bro. I can't let boss keep beating my
Dude,
ass.
I clowned on you forever because you always had like bad teams, and this year you had a great team.
Uh,
And then this year, my team starts off horrible and then unreal run and then
yeah.
I beat Boz twice just for him to beat me in the playoffs, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
Yeah,
texting
well
me so excited. I almost blocked his number.
I think I was on Xbox with him. I was actually that night
Oh,
whenever,
he
he
was
beat
texting me
you.
so excited, and I was just like, "Congrats, buddy." All right, fine. You know, I don't
One of
want to be a
these
sore loser, but
yeah, one of these years we'll win it.
all right, brother. Well,
Alright, man.
love it.
Yes.
Congratulations on the pod. I hope Nashville's going great, and we will talk soon.
Alright, sounds good, brother. Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Alright, see ya.